with you a few ideas and thoughts, and possibly also some thoughts, some insights maybe in the topic, and what I want to talk also about is the idea of the family mainstream. As you and I already mentioned, that I'm head of the Family Forum Austria, and since many years I observe also the Austrian family policies and politics, and I'm also since the very beginning there's in Austria a family network of organizations, of family organizations and politicians, and I'm a part of it since the very beginning. And we had actually for many years, as always, every month, so we had breakfast meetings, and we are discussing about family politics, and I can out of experiences say it's in a sense very hard, even very hard to define on really a good family policy and to come up with good strategies. This is a very hard work, actually, and so I'm happy that we can be here together. As I said, we want to talk here about future family policies and also develop strategies. But before, and I want to go into that topic a little bit. Before we can come up with really good solution-based policies, we have to understand really from the problems from what's really the problem from the inside out, not from an external from a viewpoint, but what is really the problem of the families, what is our human problem, because it's family is not only a political issue, it's also a very personal, very personal issue. I will start with one quote which the family politics is which family politics are concerned of. The family policy in the EU member states and also in Austria is concerned, so it's expressed like that, is concerned with the creation of a legal, social, and economic framework, as well as measures and instruments that support family development and the well-being of family life. So I want to raise immediately the question, and that question we have to raise, I think, much more often, and address the politicians and also with it do the families in the European countries develop really well, and became the families as a result of those policies in the last decade. Did they become more prosperous? Did they become more stable and better functioning? I have here, I only want to mention a few points from a research from the Austrian Institute for Family Studies at the University of Vienna. And those studies show the trends of the development of the families. Dr. Baum was already talking about them. We see in the last decade and still that a postponement of the first childbirth, a postponement of first marriage, a generally decreasing number of children, a decreasing marriage rate, an increasing divorce rate, an increasing rates of remarriage, an increasing diversity of living arrangements, an increase in new types of family life, which are often short-lived and unstable. And it's for sure that these trends, they are not a sign of stupidity. They are a sign of insecurity, of signs of insecurity, and people don't know how many people don't know how to establish or how to create a well-functioning family. And what we see today about family, even though it's always said that the youth is very much about family values, but this is only private thing. I think we have, when we really talk about family, we have also to be more enthusiastic and outspoken about what family values are. In my opinion, the problem is that the European Union views families only as a source of economic prosperity. And I'm sorry to say, but our life has to a large extent been commercialized, including our relationships, our health, and our sexuality. So, politics and also, to a large extent, social science are based, in a sense, on a misunderstanding, a misconception of the family and a misunderstanding of human nature. Because of this materialistic and actually narrow-minded viewpoint, the real problems which families are facing are ignored or misinterpreted. We hear a lot about gender mainstream. Gender experts and politicians alike say that the inequality between man and woman is the major problem. And to balance that out, so the reasoning, they introduce the gender mainstreaming as guiding principle of the European politics. I mean, we hear more and more they say, yeah, even though the EU has made significant progress over the last decades, but the gender gap remains. And what they're all constantly talking about? They're talking about equal rights, equal pay, equal opportunities, including the right to decide my sexuality, and also the right to decide when and how I want to have children. Now, imagine for a moment a couple with that mindset, with that deficit mindset and attitude, who has the intention to build a family. That kind of mindset always looks for reward and attention because of the feeling of being disadvantaged. And that that mindset is often expressed in the attitude of people. As long as you treat me kindly, as long as you give friendly to me, I will love you. But when you're not criticize me, then I have a problem. Or if you buy me flowers, then I will put it. And that kind of mindset says, in relationship to marriage and to, I will marry you, but until I find a better one who can fulfill my wishes. How long do you think such a relationship will last? And exactly this kind of attitude is often found in alternative living arrangements and new types of families. How do you feel if you are treated like a product which is replaceable at any time? How do you feel about it? And it's a tragedy that so many people treat each other in that way. And that in the name of human rights, that in the name of freedom, of their freedom. Do you see now why families break up? The fact is, as soon as I focus in a relationship with myself, on my wishes, on my interests and desires, that relationship starts to disintegrate and eventually falls apart. So, we actually don't have a problem of inequality or lack of freedom. But we have a problem of relationship, a relationship problem in our families, and a problem of our selfish attitude. Simply, and this is, I think, is also what Dr. Barr mentioned. Dr. Barr mentioned the politicians should also tell the people we have to be outspoken and say simply such a relationship which is based only on myself, not on a higher purpose, not on the others, does not work. Does not work. Yeah. The problem, as I see it, is family researchers and politicians look at the family, look at the individual only from an individual perspective. Therefore, the individual rights, interests, and opportunity. The solution to the problem is we have to look and treat family as a unit, as the cell of society. How does a cell function? The cell has elements, and when the relationships don't function, then what happens? So we have to understand that point. And we know that a healthy cell has very close ties. These are bonding ties. And the family relationship, a bonding relationship. It's a bonding relationship. Yeah. And this is the basic need that bonding. Each child needs that bonding, that trust. As I said, as I studied some development in psychology, and this is the basic thought in psychology that the bonding, that's what's important, is the bonding of the child to the parents, to the mother and to the father. And I mean, last year I could also participate at the conferences in Munich, and at that time already I proposed a family mainstreaming. Family mainstreaming is a guiding idea for family politics. What do I mean by family mainstreaming? That means we have to look at family as a unit. We have to look at the whole human being with its 4 dimensions. One dimension, the physical, economic dimension, the material dimension, the mental dimension, the social, emotional dimension, and the spiritual dimension. Only then can we find real solutions to broken families, youth problems, and so on. And finally, when we talk about action steps, I have a suggestion to make. That we think there's a lot of talk going on. We have to support each other. We have to think about to make a yearly family event on as big a scale to celebrate family values and to honor also families who really good and also bigger families because people learn from examples. The society learns also from examples, and we shouldn't put our life under the
bushel. Under the bushel.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Thank you for your attention. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now we will open the discussion. Before we will discuss everything, I would like to please.
In Europe, dann wir meinen das sehr ernst, ja. Und das glaube ich, das ist die Aufgabe oder unsere Rolle, welche können wir jetzt bringen zu Europa. Und dann, wir haben eine Verspätung. Also LGBT oder sowas ist nicht so weit oder praktisch nicht bei uns. Bei uns hat jeder Mut sagen, das ist Blödsinn. Ja, aber es wird nicht lange dauern. Es läuft, die Zeit läuft bei uns vom Ministerium und so schnell, dass man rechnet in Monate. Das, was früher hat man in Jahre gerechnet, jetzt rechnet man in Monate. Das geht ganz schnell. Und wenn diese Flüchtlingskrise ist, das ist wie, wir sind ein bisschen blind wegen Flüchtlingskrise und wir sehen nichts, was passiert in anderen Level, und das ist alles gegen Familie und alles für alles. Also wir können jetzt bringen unsere Erfahrung, Vorsicht, bitte. Wir sehen ganz klar, dass Totalität in andere Form, aber die kommt. Ich weiß nicht, ob Herr Fernandez meint dasselbe. Ja.
And then we could discuss very points. Maybe we could discuss more what to do, concrete steps. But I think that it was necessary to really listen to each other, somehow to come to base And now we can decide what to do next time. Maybe next time there is some conference or some interview. We should continue, somehow not to finish. And Dr. Yok, we would like to summarize. So please can you raise it?
I was asked by Mr. Lajda just an hour ago to have a, let us call it a memorandum or a summary of our meeting. So it's just for your interest what I was able to think and write in such very short time. So we convened at the roundtable Family Values, Family Policies, European Culture, Challenges and Opportunities in Central Europe Today in Vienna on July 8, 2016. We are a group of concerned citizens, experts, educators, opinion makers and politicians from Central European countries of Visegrad 4+. We discussed issues related to the institution of family, family policy, European culture and identity. Several concerns were raised by our speakers and participants. However, there emerged a clear consensus among us, which can be summarized. Firstly, Judeo-Christian and humanistic values which shape the European culture have to be transmitted to younger generations so they are known by young people and internalized by them. Secondly, the institution of family must be protected and its autonomy respected by states and governments. Thirdly, freedom of religion, freedom of conscience, and religious liberty are basic natural human rights. We want to defend, protect, and strengthen those principles. We shall continue to do so in the future, and we welcome all who would join us in these endeavors and efforts. Vienna, July 8, 2016.
Thank you very much. I will ask if there is anybody against what has been said.
One small remark about the freedom. This freedom shall be respected.
One small remark also.
Yes, please.
There's no freedom without responsibility.
Yes.
Very good.
This
Freedom
is what we have to
is a
teach.
part of the responsibility as well.
Also, there is a suggestion because we have all these addresses. When we put them, I think that everybody was very good and put this email. So we can make some short record.
Another meeting sometime in the autumn, and then we'll inform you. But also, we really want to have your own input. I mean, it's not just a one-sided effort. So thank you for all. Thank you, Mrs. Novakova, and very happy to see you all. And France won, of course, last night. I found out this morning.